Jason Smith, offensive tackle, the Baylor University. I was the Baylor's 45th All-American this year, first team All-Big 12. I was first team All-American team, third team coaches poll All-American. Projected top 5 pick this year's NFL draft. I started working with art of football after my junior year, which I received a 3rd round grade from the NFL. I got with Coach Garman, worked on technique, physicalness, using your hands, feet, a lot of offensive line technique stuff. And what it did for me was it made me a more confident football player on the field. It made me be able to process what my offensive line coach was saying to me and what was asking me to do week in and week out. We had the new staff come in and we were doing different things, and I wanted to pick it up and know what I was doing, and that's what Coach Garman was able to help me to break down my offense and learn it. I was able to learn what offensive linemen do in the NFL and what I should do at college to look good for the NFL. And week in and week out, Coach Garman was able to come to some of my games and watch me and kind of coach me on certain things, and I talked to my O-line coach about it, and I was able to play fast and confident. And what art of football did for me was it helped me to be a more confident football player because I was prepared for whatever happened on the field, through preparation and practice and playing and just experience. And art of football helped with that. And I would recommend art of football to any offensive lineman from high school to college that want to, this is what you want to do. I would recommend art of football and Coach Garman to help you as an offensive lineman, because it's helped me, made me millions of dollars, pretty much, technique and crafting myself as an offensive lineman and as a more confident football player. So I would recommend art of football to anybody. Jason Smith. Being an offensive lineman, you're one of the guys that's the behind-the-scenes guy that you do all the work and get no credit. But to be an offensive lineman, to be a successful offensive lineman, you have to first of all wake up knowing that you're the best offensive lineman that's playing the game. You have to wake up with a nasty streak to you. You have to wake up with an attitude that you're going to be better than anybody you see today. And you carry that over to the practice field and the weight room and the game field. And that's how you have to be as an offensive lineman. You have to believe that you're big, bad, and that you can beat anybody down within the rules on the football field when it matters. And then when you get off the field, know how to turn it off and be a nice guy. And with art of football and Coach Garman, I was able to learn those type of things because he's played in the NFL, and that's the highest caliber of competition that there is. With Coach Garman and art of football, we was able to talk about those kind of things day in and day out. And if I ever had a question about something, just call him and be like, hey, Coach, what about this and what about that? And he'd be like, hey, this right here. And I'd be like, okay, cool, I got it. And so those are things that art of football can teach you that your average coach on the street or at your school may not be able to teach you because they've never been to that high level of performing, in the game of football. And if you want to get to be that high, you got to get around people that have played that high and they've been through it, and they can tell you about it. So you can mold yourself into what it takes to be that person. This year I was able to be an invited athlete to the National Scouting Combine that's held in Indianapolis. And what art of football did for me was I was scheduled to go and work out in Arizona at a place, and what I did was I got with Coach Garman before I went. We got together, I believe, a couple weeks in advance prior to me going out there, and we worked out day after day and got me rebalanced and timed and tuned up for offensive lineman drills that we were going to be doing at the Combine, so that when I went to API, I was able to do the things that I was asked to do, but I still knew what I'm supposed to do. So when I get to the Combine, I'll be that much more confident and that much more prepared than the other guys. And I felt that when I got to the Combine, I was more prepared because I was more technically sound. I had been doing this stuff day in and day after, and I was aware of what was going to be asked of me, which Coach Garman was able to explain to me and break it down to where I can understand it. Because if you see something on paper and they tell you this is what you're going to do, unless somebody breaks it down and shows you the correct way to do it, you're still going to be doing it wrong anyway. And that's what Coach Garman was able to do for me with art of football. And my production showed, my confidence showed, and what I was able to do at the Combine in Indianapolis showed. And thanks to art of football and the other place in Arizona I worked out at, I was able to be a very confident player at the Combine.